Good morning. So today's training, we're gonna redo the previous videos I created on how to create a landing page with an embedded calendar on it for users to book an appointment and a series of automations that confirms your appointment and sends out a reminder message to both the lead and your sales team or yourself regarding the upcoming appointment. So this will involve a couple of things. You will need to create a calendar. You will need to integrate your Zoom account if you are going to be using Zoom. You can also use Google Meet. Um, Plus, this will be beneficial for pre-consultations, appointments, or sales calls. So let's go ahead and get started. So first step is you have to log in into your Gohighlevel account. And let's first start by creating the calendar. So go to the calendar section, go to calendar settings, create a calendar. Now, let's say, for example, if there's a couple of you or a few of you that will be receiving the call, I would suggest going for a round robin. Um, Simplest option is simple calendar, but I normally prefer to use a round robin. That way, if I need to add someone else in the future, I can just easily do so. So let's call this brand Span Force. Let's say this is a wood um, flooring company. So for team members, I'm just gonna select myself for the time being. Now with round robin, you can select as many or multiple team members to receive the call. And the way round robin works is it will divide the calls equally to the persons that are currently assigned for the calendar. So you can also do a custom URL. For example, let's call it span floors. Meeting duration, you can set it to a couple 30 minutes or 3 minutes or a couple hours. Normally, it's a 30 minutes average meeting duration. And you can also specify your hours or booking availability. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's do 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is my last call. Confirm. Now you can go ahead and immediately use this calendar, or what you can do if what you can do is if you want to customize the calendar itself, you can go ahead and click edit. Apologies on my dog. Now, once you customize the calendar, you can add your brand logo on it. This will be visible on the top of the calendar name. You can also add a description. So let's say, for example, here, the description. Groups normally are, let's say, for example, if you have a specific team of sales teams, you can put them into a group. Um, you can also update your meeting title. This is what's going to show on the automated um, emails. So there are a couple emails that are going to be sent out. Gohighlevel calendar automatically sends out a confirmation email, but you can also customize your own. So we can call this as free consultation for then contact name. Then this is the purpose of the round robin. You can optimize for availability. Let's say, for example, you have multiple people. They have different availability. So the calendar will optimize for the user's availability. But if you want, you can also do equal distribution, meaning it will distribute the calls equally to all users. Meeting location, this is where you can set on where the location would be. Can be in Zoom, Google Meet, phone, or for address if it's an in person. So commonly, for the first appointment, you will set it as a virtual meeting. Once you're good, click save. The next part of the calendar settings is the availability, meaning you can actually customize the calendar itself. For example, if you are available from 9 a.m., let's say to 11 or 11 a.m. only, then start again at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. You can actually do that. You can also click this icon, copy, and implement to all available days that you would like. If you are good with that, go ahead and click save. Forms. Now, for calendars, normally there is a standard form, which is first name, last name, email, phone number, which is this case. But let's say, for example, if you have a custom series of questions, you can create a form that the users will have to fill out. For example, I have a form here. I will show you afterwards on what it looks like. They can also add a guest on a call. You can enable that. Or let's say, for example, if you are going to embed this to a landing page, you can use redirect URL for the confirmation page. We're going to update that afterwards once we have created the landing page. So for this time, we're just going to use the default option. Next will be notifications. This is the standard acknowledgement email. This is the automated built-in email confirmation. You can also select who would receive the email, which is the contact, the user assigned. If you want to have additional emails, for example, if you want your senior to be informed for all your calls, you can also add additional emails. But for this one, we're not going to use additional emails. You also would like to allow or enable this option to send meeting invites to be added onto their user's calendar. That way they don't forget about it. Now, this feature is assign contacts to their respective calendar team members each time an appointment is booked. Meaning, if a user is already a lead on your Gohighlevel account and a salesperson or person or a staff is already assigned to that user, whenever they book an appointment, this will actually skip the round robin option and it will just assign the lead to you. That way, all your leads will stay under you. All new leads will be distributed equally. Here is skip assigning contact if the contact has already assigned. This works along with this one. Allow rescheduling, allow canceling of the meeting. Always enable those. So you will never know if something comes up from the lead side. Lastly, if you want to have a calendar cover image, this is optional. This is actually new. You can add, let's say, for example, a background image. You have the two options for near classic. I would prefer the classic. This is the standard calendar on multiple platforms on how they look. You can customize your branding. You can also customize your submit button. And if you're good, go ahead and click save. Now you now have your calendar. So our next step is to create the landing page. Now remember, there are still a couple steps afterwards, which is creating the email templates and setting up the automation. So let's go with the sites, funnels, and create a new funnel. We're gonna create from scratch. Once you're good with the name, go ahead and click create. Close. Now let's start with the opt-in page. So let's go. We'll go ahead and call this as a registration. And our funnel URL would be schedule, for example. Then create funnel step. Now, quick note, before doing any of this, you should already have some of your assets created, images, some of your headlines or copy created. That way you can move faster with this setup. But for this example, I actually already have everything created. So what we're going to be doing is moving along the steps on the landing page creation way faster. Ideally, that's going to be your process, but you can also do or create your images while you're working on the landing page. So first, let's add a hero image from the top. Let's put this as a full. This option enables it that the selection or the section to actually be a full size on the website instead of the standard size. So let's add an image. This first part, we're actually gonna add a brand logo. Now, if you notice it's way too big, you can actually also adjust the size here on the optimized image. You can also remove the spacings or the padding and margins at the top. You can also lower down the paddings at the bottom. Now let's say you're good with the um, logo. We can add another section, which is a full width. And we're gonna add a couple of things. So element, we're gonna add a headline here. And we can adjust this to 45. We can also put this into 75. You will see afterwards why I'm lowering down the size for this section. And lastly, we're gonna add a sub headline, which is this one. Now let's add a couple spacings or margin 10. That way they don't just squeeze in into one specific section. And we're gonna add a background image for this. So let's go and upload one. Let's use this for example. If you notice, I already have the creatives or the assets available. So I can just easily upload them as needed. So at the moment, if you notice that the background is dark, the text is also dark, so it's not really visible. What we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust the color of the text. You can adjust the color here. This is for regular font. This is for bold. What I commonly do is just adjust both of them because as I am gonna be editing the landing page in the future, this might actually be, or this might go ahead and increase. Let's widen this up a little bit. Instead of 40, let's do 60. It's gonna be slightly bigger. Okay, now that you have your um, hero image, we're gonna add another section, still a full section, and we're gonna add a row. This time we're gonna add or use two columns. So first column, we're gonna add some text. So another headline here, and couple bullet points. So add another element, and you can normally just use these sections, but for this one, we're gonna add bullet point. Okay, there. Now we can add a space here. We can add a space here so they don't just mix all together. Okay, now that you have that, we're also gonna add an element here at the right side of the column. So we're gonna use the calendar. Now remember, we created a calendar earlier, so we're gonna use that. And this is where the logo is placed. You can also put this on bold so it actually is gonna be the section that's most likely emphasized. Great. Now that we have the calendar and the here image, we're gonna add a couple more sections, which is gonna be a few information about the brand. So let's add another headline, how it works. Now my standard size for headlines are gonna be 45 on desktop. Text would be 25. I like it bigger for this section, and it's also adjusted 25. Then we're gonna add another set of columns here, 3 column section. And we're gonna add a headline. Now this is gonna be a, what do you call it? Progressive counter. So we're gonna add 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna add a another headline, which is gonna be slightly bigger. And then we're gonna add a sub headline, which is gonna be the 25. Now we can start adding the text. So for example, step 1 is consultation. We add a short description for the consultation part. Step 2, then just duplicate. Now, if you notice, there should be 6 steps. But if you notice, I only did the first 3, because this makes it easier to add the rest of the steps afterwards. So let's see that too. Duplicate this. And uh, this one, we're also gonna change the number 4, 5, 6. Add a description for 4. Add a description for 5. Add a description for 6. And lastly, we're just gonna add one last section, which is gonna be a gallery section. So we're gonna make this as a full width. We're gonna add element, and let's see here, which is image slider. Image slider is you can use multiple images that actually changes every few seconds. You just need at least four, ideally. Minimum was three, or actually you can use two, but I normally like using four of them. So I'm uploading the four images. So after the four images, you can add a lot more information. For example, a testimonial section, um, a review section, videos, embed videos onto it. You can add multiple stuff. So this one, to make the tutorial faster, we're gonna use two. And lastly, um, actually not lastly, we can add a footer. So footer, I normally just use this as this average or standard footer. And you can also add a call to action here since they're going to be scrolling. So add a button, put it in black. And you can also do an effect for this that when they click this button, it scrolls to an element. And that element would be the two columns here. Now that you have your desktop version, we're also going to update the mobile version. If you click the mode up top, you're going to have desktop and mobile. So mobile, my average biggest size is 25. Then the rest is going to be 20 and 16. So this one is being cut off. So let's put that into 18. This one is also going to be 25. And this ones are going to be 16. Calendar. This is going to be another 25. This is going to be 20. This is 16, 20. Actually, no, this is 45 because this is a number. This is 25, 16, 25, 16. This is the only downside is you're going to have to individually edit them. 16, lastly 25, 16, one last number, 25. This is 16. Button stays. Uh, button name is actually here. So for mobile, let's go ahead and adjust the size. Let's put it into 18. Actually, slightly bigger. There. Then for mobile on this one, let's put it into 15. So you now have your landing page for both desktop and mobile. Pretty basic one. You can add a few more sections again. You can add, for example, previous works here as a different column, and then another column that goes over the um, testimonials or reviews. But that's the simplest one you can create. Now, all we have to do is update our SEO. So for SEO, we're going to use the same landing page name, description. Keywords would be wood flooring, tiles, wood tiles. Authors can be your brand name. Social media image, you can use the current one you have. I normally just use the brand logo or a certain creative that works well for the landing page. Save. And remember, before you publish or whatever you publish, it's gonna ask you for a domain. So make sure that you can add a domain here and just follow the prompts. It does provide you an option to just add CNAME or DNS records to your domain itself. But for this specific example, I'm gonna use the domain that I currently have. And next step is gonna be our thank you page. So let's get out from that page. Let's add a new one. Confirmation, confirmed, create funnel. Now, to make it or to cut off on redoing each and every section again, you can just use existing page here and select the earlier page you created. That way it already has uh, the details of the landing page on it. And all you have to do is just update or change a few sections. Makes it really easier and faster. So let's go ahead and edit the um, thank you page, not thank you page. It's currently loading. Let's delete these sections. So we are now left with this. So we can use that. We can also use this. Actually, we can update just that. Add a couple more spaces. We can make this bigger. Oops, that's too big. And that's going to be our thank you page. Really fast, right? Next is remember on the calendar earlier, I mentioned that we have to go back and edit the confirmation page. So let's go back to the calendar section. I just right click and open to a new tab. That way I don't have to switch to this section and do a whole lot of go back and forth. So again, edit your calendar here. You can immediately switch to the last section, which is notifications and the customizations, forms and payments here. Confirmation page under forms and payments. Connect the URL of your thank you page. You can also add your Facebook pixel, or you can just install the Facebook pixel directly here under the settings. You can add a head tracking code for the pixel here. You can add the Google tags here. If you're using TikTok, you can add your TikTok pixel here or any other tracking software you are going to be using. All right, so now we have completed the calendar and the uh, landing page. Our next step is to create an email template that will be sent out to the customer. So let's go ahead and go back to sites. Actually, let's go to marketing. Marketing hosts the emails. So under emails, hover your mouse and click on templates. And let's create a new template. Here, blank template. We're going to use design editor. I also did a couple trainings about emails, so you may want to view those as well in order to increase email deliverability of those. So click the three dots, from name, let's say from name, support at fun.com. Preview text is optional, so I don't normally use that. I just use email subject line. Once you're good with the template settings, we're now going to add the copy or the text on it. I like it slightly bigger, so font size 18. You can also adjust the customizations here. Contact, first name. Mike. Let's say, oh, actually, let's use my own. Floor support team. Now this email looks ugly. So you may want to add an image at the top, which is this one. You can add your unsubscribe here. Floors, click the word unsubscribe, and then you can just hyperlink this to your unsubscribe link or unsubscribe triggers. Um, let's see, unsubscribe here. And let's say if you're good, go ahead and save. Make sure to name Fun Floors demo email. Save again. Now we have the email. We now have the landing page and we have the calendar. All we need now is to create the automations. So go back to the sidebar menu under automations, create a workflow, and we're going to create from scratch. I don't like using the templates. I want to customize things or customize things on my own. Span floors, booking automations. Okay, so you're good. Let's go ahead and use a trigger. So our trigger is a calendar or appointment. Customer booked an appointment. You're going to add a filter. This is to ensure that if you're using multiple calendars, it only triggers the specific calendars. The filter is in calendar, and we're going to find the calendar we created, which is Span Floors Demo as the trigger. Then you can add a tag. Let's say Span Floors Demo tag. Save. Then we can add an email. So the send email is an automation that sends an email to the lead. Let's see here. Now it asks for a subject line. Again, you can add a subject line here, or you can just leave it blank. It will use the templates email. But just to make sure, you can always add the subject line. Then we're going to add an internal notification. So let's do email, my name, my email, to a custom user. And that custom user is going to be me. Or you can add someone else. Subject line, new lead book a consult. Hi, Ronald. New lead has been generated and has booked a free consultation. Make sure that all is correct. Here are the details. Name, email, phone, date of appointment, additional details. So for name, you can do, or you can automatically pull up the information via this. Actually, that's a code. Um, Here, via the custom values, contact, full name. Here, contact email. Here is contact phone. Here is appointment, start date, time. And if your form has additional questions, you can also pull up that information here under custom values. Let me go back. Contact, custom fields here. If you have a question that is, let's say, for example, here, notes, let's see, appointment notes. Once you're good, you can go ahead and save. Now, what I normally do is I use the same text, but I send another internal notification, but as an SMS too. And you can add a custom number, you can add the number you want, you can add that, Let's say I start a number, save, publish, and save. So you now have a landing page that invites them to book an appointment via the calendar, which does a round robin uh, auto system. Then, once the customer books an appointment, this automation triggers, adds a tag to the lead that came in, sends an email confirmation to the customer, sends an internal email notification to the person assigned, and also sends an internal SMS notification. So let me just go ahead and pause that because I don't want that running mistakenly because this is a demo. Let me also show you how the landing page looks. So this is the landing page. This automatically scrolls as well. Um, Actually, that did not load well. So let's do, or let's see from here. This is the landing page. I did some, this is actually the source page of another landing page I'm running, which is slightly similar. This is what I wanted to show you, but you can look at it as an example. This tutorial video is to show you the basics of how to build a landing page and the rest of the automations. And this is the landing page. This is the carousel section, previous projects, a quick note, what we are offering, and reviews. Now, again, it has the same functionalities. If you click on book a consultation, it go back to this section. This is actually a calendar. Now, if here, now books you calendar, and this. So again, this is the calendar. Ask you for a date, time, select a date. This is the form. This is the custom question I have added. Once you're good and publish, it goes to the thank you page. So that's how you create a lead generation landing page that invites user to book an appointment and sends out an automatic email to the customer and a couple reminder SMS for the user. One quick or an extra tip um, per se. Let's say, for example, you have created multiple emails. You can also add a time delay. So for example, wait. Now, automatically it's going to set us time delay. But since this is an appointment, you can click on wait for event or appointment. And you can do 15 minutes before the appointment. So it's going to wait 15 minutes before the appointment. You can add an email function, span floors as the sender, support at spanforce.com, and then meeting in 15 minutes as a subject line. You can also just customize the email. Hi, contact first name. Your appointment is in 15 minutes. In case you missed it, here is the meeting link. And you can pull this up dynamically by a custom fields, appointment, meeting location. See you. Donald Spam Floor Support Team. That way, 15 minutes prior, sends an email. You can also add an internal notification, an email or an SMS. Pretty much same process. Meeting with client, contact first name, in 15 minutes. Donald, you have a meeting with a lead in 15 minutes. Now, to make it easier, just copy the text here again and go back to the meeting location. Here are the details and save. Once you're all good, save the automation. And that's it. Now, if you need any other trainings, let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to assist you. Or if you need help building it own, don't hesitate to contact us at agmagency.com/contact. That will direct you to our agency's appointment dashboard. Or you can go to talktoaninja.com. Still goes you or directs you to the same landing page. This is another version of the same funnel, slightly different offer, but same process. So you can actually go ahead and test it out and receive the full set of automations I have built. So have a great day and don't hesitate to let me know.